I planned my first time for almost 2 weeks, but when the day finally came, I realized I was nowhere near ready for it. That morning, I woke up earlier than usual. I cleaned my room twice, changed my bedsheet 3 times, sprayed so much perfume that the entire room smelled like a shopping mall, and kept checking myself in the mirror every 10 minutes. My hands were already sweating even though nothing had happened yet. Around 5 p.m., my phone buzzed. Her message said, "I'm on my way." The moment I read it, my heartbeat completely changed. It didn't even feel real anymore. I locked my phone, unlocked it again, checked the message one more time, then started walking around the room for no reason. 10 minutes later, the doorbell rang. I froze for 2 seconds before opening the door. She was standing there smiling like everything was normal while I was mentally fighting for my life. I tried acting calm and said, "Come in," but my voice cracked in the middle of the sentence. She noticed it instantly and started laughing. I laughed too, pretending everything was fine, but inside, I was panicking. She sat on the bed while I kept fixing random things in the room that were already perfectly fine. She looked at me and said, "Why are you acting so nervous?" I said, "I'm not nervous," while literally dropping my phone on the floor at the same time. We started talking normally after that. Movies, school memories, random gossip, stupid stories. Slowly, things started feeling less awkward. I sat closer, she moved closer too. My brain completely stopped working at that point. I picked up a glass of water because my throat felt dry, but the moment I tried drinking it, I spilled half of it on my shirt. She laughed so hard she had to hold her stomach. I laughed too, but honestly, I wanted to disappear into another dimension. After a while, the room got quieter. The lights were dim. The fan sound suddenly felt louder than usual. My heartbeat was so strong, I genuinely thought she could hear it. I kept thinking, okay, this is actually happening. Every second felt slow. My hands were shaking, but I kept trying to act cool. She looked completely relaxed while I felt like I was about to faint from stress. Then, suddenly, someone started banging on the front door. Loud. "Open the door." My entire soul left my body instantly. I stopped breathing for a second. She looked at me and whispered, "Who is that?" I slowly looked through the window, and my parents were standing outside. At that exact moment, my brain completely crashed. I whispered, "Why are they back already?" Apparently, the wedding got canceled because of rain. She stood up immediately while I started speed running every bad decision possible. First, I tried hiding her in the kitchen. Then, I realized the kitchen was the first place my mom would go. Then, I pushed her toward my room. Then, I realized my dad always checks my room first. Meanwhile, my parents were still banging on the door, asking why I was taking so long. My hands were shaking so badly, I almost dropped the keys while opening the door. The moment my mom walked inside, she looked at my face and said, "Why are you sweating this much?" I immediately said, "It's hot today." My dad looked around suspiciously and started walking toward my room. At that moment, my heartbeat was so loud I could literally hear it in my ears. Then suddenly, from the kitchen, her voice came out loud and clear. "Auntie, where do you keep the water bottles?" The entire house went silent. My dad slowly turned around and stared directly at me. My mom crossed her arms without saying a word, and I just stood there, knowing my life had officially ended. Then after 5 seconds of silence, my dad looked at the AC remote in my hand and said, "At least turn the AC on before panicking this hard."